Enterprise businesses must always be prepared for the unexpected. When it comes to keeping data secure and protected, that's going to be our #1 priority. But with business continuity and disaster recovery, there are many different challenges that we have to face. Whether that's complexities with infrastructure ranging from a single location to multiple locations, leveraging emerging technologies or legacy applications, all the way down to just keeping disaster recovery documentation up to date. Veeam strives to help our enterprises to ensure that they can have a business continuity and disaster recovery strategy, regardless of wherever their hybrid cloud strategy ends up taking them. And it starts with the 3 pillars for success. One of those is going to be data security, followed by data recovery, as well as data freedom. I'm going to take you through how all 3 pillars can be used in order to develop a successful business continuity disaster recovery strategy. So let's start with the first thing, which is going to be Veeam backup and replication. So with Veeam backup and replication, we have a lot of innovative features that continue to be delivered upon every new release that we have. This can range from having security, added on features like multi-factor authentication, having updated enterprise application plugins. For example, if we wanted to give our database administrators the power to be able to create their own backups as well as perform their own restores, they can do that with our enterprise application plugins, as well as having some additional recovery scenarios in place with the Veeam Explorers. So being able to recover a Microsoft SQL database or a user account within Active Directory. These are going to be some of those top tier features that really help with giving us some granularity and flexibility back to the end users. We also have some really great enterprise integrations with different storage vendors. So we can leverage the storage snapshot capability as well as do some restores at a granular basis from those volumes. Again, giving us a very integrated solution when it comes to the enterprise. But since I mentioned earlier, data security is kind of top priority. So we want to make sure that our backups and our data is going to be fully protected. And that starts with your backup target. So we have a repository option that we could choose from, whether that's going to be using a hardened Linux repository or using another target that has immutable features built in. This ensures that whatever data we're writing to that target can't be deleted, can't be changed in the event we were to be hit by some type of malicious attack or just an everyday accidental deletion. Now this follows a good strategy for high availability. We can leverage, again, snapshots here. We could use granular recovery tools. We have our backups that are local to it. This gives us fast recovery. But we want to make sure we're following a great 3-2-1 rule. So we want to ensure that we have a secondary repository, whether that's going to be offsite at another location. We can also be writing this off to tape or even sending into the cloud. So this ensures that we have a secondary copy of our backups. In the event the original was to be missing, we have another way to do a recovery of it. So this makes up the basis of having a good backup strategy for doing restores of. So next we need to talk about disaster recovery. And kind of the foundations for getting started of a good disaster recovery plan is knowing where we're going to be recovering to and what type of resources are going to be needed in order to recover successfully. So we can leverage something called Veeam One. Veeam One is a comprehensive monitoring and reporting tool. It reads information from our hypervisor, it reads information from Veeam backup and replication, and it gives us the necessary information we need in order to identify the types of resources that are necessary for our virtual machines that are the most critical to us. So whether that's CPU, RAM, data store usage, those are all going to be information that's available. Next, we also have security alerts. So if there was a potential ransomware activity that is happening, we can be alerted to that. That includes looking at change deltas from the virtual machines, as well as maybe looking at change deltas from the backups themselves that usually signify a bigger jump that could give us a significance that maybe encryption has taken place or that there's something not normal that is happening on those workloads. So now that we have our recovery solution, we know what types of information or what type of resources we have that's needed in order to do a recovery of our critical workloads. Next, we have Veeam Recovery Orchestrator. So having good dynamic documentation, up-to-date documentation is going to be key, especially when it comes to building a fluid BCDR strategy. So with Veeam Recovery Orchestrator, we can take everything that we put into place here. So our backups, whether that's going to be what our primary storage site looks like, what our recovery site looks like, and we can have that all added in underneath Recovery Orchestrator. So that way we know where we're going to be recovering to and what types of SLAs we can have provided. Now we can also leverage Veeam replication here. And this allows us to leverage either CDP or regular replication. So that way we have a near zero data loss when it comes to the critical workloads that need to be up and available to us. We can also leverage storage-based replication here. So with storage-based replication, I can do granular restores from those volumes that have been snapshotted over to our secondary site, and I can use those to rebuild my workloads here as well. And then one of the other options you have available is using something called Clean DR within Veeam Recovery Orchestrator. Now with Clean DR, we can automatically scan the backups, whether they're going to be from virtual machines or from physical servers, and we can scan those with an AV of our choosing. And we just have to put in the updated definition. It'll scan those backups with the AV, and then from there, we'll be able to see if there's anything that's malicious as part of those restore points. You could go all the way up to 10, but this ensures that when you are in the middle of doing a restore, you're not going to be recovering any bad or malicious data into your environment. Now, data freedom, that's kind of key here with all of these pieces in place, right? So we have our DR sites, we have our choice when it comes to technology vendors here. But what if we don't have a secondary DR site, or maybe we want to have a more fluid hybrid cloud strategy? With data freedom or with Veeam Recovery Orchestrator, I can actually take my backups and I can recover those directly into Azure. So that way that provides for us a secondary site for recoveries to happen to. And that's it. Veeam makes things really easy, especially when it comes to our enterprise and our different complexities and challenges that we may face. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on the website or download a trial. I'm more than happy to help out wherever we can.